What's going on, everybody? Aaron here with Jack and Vapors. I've had some requests for me to do a video on how I build my coils. What I'm going to be using today, it's Igo-W. I did drill these holes out a bit. I can't tell you exactly what the drill bit was that I used, but you can't stick a toothpick in here, so there you go. I don't like really airy hits. I've never been the type of guy when I smoked cigarettes to take lung hits. I was always took hits, you know, into my mouth and into my lungs. But anyways, we are going to be using, like I said, the Igo-W dual coil. We'll be doing some coils here. For time's sake, I have built a coil already, so that's ready to go. Typically when I build my coils, I like to have 4 loops. Usually I used to just do 1 loop like that and then wrap around here, but I like to do 4 now just because of wicking purposes. It holds a lot more juice. I mean, I guess you could use like a 3 millimeter silica, but I just like to do this. What we'll do is, like I said, I like to do 2 wraps on each side, so 1, 2, 2. There you go. So you got 2 wraps on each side. Like I said, this will hold a lot of juice. Typically what I do is I do 3 wraps, 3 to 4, depending. If you do 3 wraps, you're going to get around anywhere from a 0.3 to 0.8 ohm coil. So that's where I like to stay. With this extremely overly amount of wire here, I like to leave the part of the wire that's going to go to this middle post. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Let's see if you can see this. I like to leave this right here longer, just because when I do actually have this built, I could bend the excess over and it'll hold that coil in place. But anyways, what I'll do here, 3 wraps, that's all you need. 1, 2, and 3. This is really hard to do on camera. There you go. There's your 3 wraps. That's going to give you roughly a 0.3 to 0.8. Like I said, we'll do some tweaking to this when we actually get it on the atomizer itself. What I'm going to do now is like I said, this is how I do it, and this is what I'm doing. But I burn my wicks after I'm done. I'll torch it. Let me zoom out here. What I'll do, you can get these at Harbor Freight. They're like $6. You gotta buy the butane for it, but they're like $6, and this is awesome. I use this when I'm doing my mesh, because I also burn my mesh off too. Don't be worried about burning the silica, because you won't. You could hold this torch on here and it won't burn through it because it's silica. But anyways, let me burn this off real quick. Like I said, you don't have to do this. This is just what I like doing. Some people say it's not good to do this. Well, this is what I do. Anyways, just kind of burn everything off. Get anything that might be on there off of there. Be careful after you're done with this, because this will be extremely hot. Okay. Yeah, it's really hot. So, like I said, I had one, and this has already been pre-burned off here anyways. Let me zoom back in so you can kind of get an idea what I'm doing here. When I do my dual coils, the reason that I left these a little long is because when I actually feed this through here, I like to bend the excess over this middle. I like to bend it over this middle right here. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about so you can get an idea of it. I'm going to try to get all this on the camera. Let's see. This is going to be pretty hard to do on camera. But anyways, feed both sides. That wasn't bad. Your positive and your negative. Here's the excess. It might be a little too much, but for video's sake will be okay. I like to bend this over. It holds it in place for you. That's actually a little too much. Let me cut some off. Invest in some nail clippers. They're awesome. It works great to do build coils and stuff. Anyways, bend this excess over, and that's going to hold that middle in place while you get your other one, while you're feeding your other one through. When you're tightening these down, do not over tighten them. If you over tighten this, just tighten until it's like, if you over tighten it, it's going to break your canthal right here, and it's going to be worthless. You're just going to have to start over. Tighten it down until it feels snug. When it feels snug, just stop. That's usually good enough. And you could also, if there's excess too, you cut that off or just bend it over. That's what I usually do. Or you could break it off, twist it. A lot of people twist it, but I just typically leave it. This is a tricky part. What you're going to want to do, I like to take this excess piece and bend this up. See if you can see that right there, just so it kind of has a curve going up like that. That helps you when you're feeding this through. It helps you to stay out of this other wick here. So it's looking pretty good. This is gonna be really tricky on camera, so bear with me here, but let me open this up a little bit more. Okay. Let's see here. So, like I said, this is going to be really hard on camera. And let's get this in here and there. The right side's easy, because there's nothing else in there, but keeping this away from this other wick is hard, especially because I can't really see real close. Let's see here. It might be bent just a little too much. I think I'm actually hitting this post. Oh, the screw fell off. Okay. There we go. Well, I think this thing's actually... Oh, I had the wrong way. Let's straighten this one up here and do this again. One more time here. This is always the trickiest part when building your own coils. Just the second, when building duals, the second one's kind of a pain to get in here. Which it's not as hard if you can actually look at it, but I'm trying to do this on camera, so it's kind of tough. But let's see, that one's in. Come on, middle. There we go. Okay, if you can see, I'm going to try to zoom in on this as close as I can. Let me put this screw in here. Like I said, the same way as this one, this post. Just tighten it down. You want to push. You want to keep your coil as close to the positive and negative as you can. Just tighten it down until you feel it feels snug. And that's good. If you look, see if I can bring this close enough to where you can see. You can see that other coil or that other wire come through. I keep these. Like I said, I keep both sides, and I'll just push this one over to the other side. This one's pushed around here, and this one's pushed to the other side. Then I'll pinch these. You want to keep these pinched when you're tightening in the middle, because it will push them out. And you want to keep your wick and your coil, I should say, as close to these posts as you can, but you don't want these middles to touch because they'll short it out. So anyways, let's tighten this down. This is the same way as your outside post. You don't want to over tighten these. You just want to tighten them until it feels snug. You're going to want to, let me get my flathead up. You want to separate these to kind of be uniform. This is a really good one. I think this is actually the one I did off camera. This is the one I did on camera. That looks really good. This will probably give me a, I'm going to say a 0.5. I'll get my multimeter here and check it out. Let me zoom out here. You can get this multimeter right here at Harbor Freight. I think this thing was like $6. It works pretty good. This is a mess. Let's see here. I'm going to say this is probably going to be a 0.5. Yeah, so we're looking at this is a 0.4, so that's just about right. You can mess with this a little bit and separate these just a little bit more, and it should change it maybe a little bit. Yeah, it's still gonna be this is about perfect for me. 0.4 to 0.8 is what I like to vape at. I'm gonna pause this video. And I'm going to show you some vapor production with this, because this is really just, you won't believe the amount of vapor that you'll get from dual coils. Even a single coil, if you build it right, it's gonna really rock it. I mean, you'll get just so much vapor, it's unbelievable. But what I'm going to be rocking this on my Sigelei. I bought this the other day. It's just a really cheap, you know, I think it was like $60. Sigelei mechanical. With the EFES 225, or excuse me, 2250 mAh battery protected. I can't stress enough, I always use protected batteries. Mechanical mods are dangerous enough because they are there's no regulation on a mechanical mod. You push a button and the electricity's going through and heating up your coils. You know, there is a bigger danger than a regulated battery than there is an unregulated battery, so just take the proper precautions with it. You'll see a lot of people fire. You'll see a lot of people turn this on, just fire the heck out of this thing and heat their coils up. I don't like doing that because for me it gives this a really, really bad burnt taste, and I don't like it. I don't like tasting that. I've tried many different ways, and just doing it, you know, taking this torch and just torching. You can even torch it on here. I wouldn't really suggest that because you'll mess your O-rings up. But I don't fire this when I'm done like this. Just dry fire, because for me it gives it a really, really bad taste. But as you can see, we got a lot of wick here. This is going to hold a lot of juice. I typically could probably drip, I don't know, 15 to 20 drops on this and vape on it for quite some time before I had to reapply any juice to it. You can too, and I probably will do this before I actually put any juice to this, is clean up these ends. You don't need these. You can just take your fingernail clippers and, you know, cut this off. Fingernail clippers work amazing. See, that's all you need. I don't like using scissors, and these are pretty precise too. But you can get in here and just clean all this stuff up. I don't like keeping this stuff in here because these frays sometimes tend to get crazy and just do their own thing. But I'm going to clean this up and then drip some juice on here, and then come back and show you some vapor production off this. But we'll see here in a second. Alright, I got the silica cleaned up. Just a quick recap of what I'm using. Sigelei telescopic mod, 2250 milliamp battery, Igo-W dual coil, 30 millimeter or 30 gauge Canthal, 2 millimeter silica on Igo-W. If you're just now getting into RBAs, I would suggest lowering your nicotine down. I usually vape on 11, but that is still way too much for me. Single and dual coil RBAs just intensify everything. The flavor, the taste, the vapor, everything is just intensified by 10 for me and for everybody else. But I usually take mouth hits, mouth to lungs, but I'll show you both ways. The vapor production both ways is just crazy in the flavor, but I'll show you here. as you can see, just regular mouth hits, you get crazy amount of vapor. I would probably suggest if you're looking into getting a RBA, maybe go with a single coil first. You'll still get a crazy amount of flavor and vapor with it, and then kind of work your way up to a dual coil. Let me take a couple of long hits real quick and I'll show you. The vapor is just amazing. I don't like taking mouth hits a lot, or lung hits, but as you can tell, the vapor quality is just crazy. It'll melt your face off. If you have any questions or comments, just leave some below, or you could head over to my Facebook page, facebook.com/JackandVapors. I think that's about it. It's going to wrap it up. I'm Aaron with Jack and Vapors. Thanks for watching.